Okay, with the help of my assistants, I figure I'd give you guys a quick one-take walkthrough of the 30 by 30 in progress, so I can show you some of the pros, cons, and things to look for on your building. I actually built a smaller version of this over our well, so I could kind of get an idea for what it would look like before it was done. And the one thing I noticed specifically right away is that molding up there on my well house. Man, it's rough. It's quite bad looking. So I was able to talk to them and specifically request that they do a better job with that, which I think turned out a lot better on this one. We ended up bringing the grade up a good bit. You can kind of see over there a little bit more of a steep drop. Did a 4-inch thick slab with the footer whole way around, a little extension off here, and a small recess for the garage door, because that's going to be the same garage door that we have on the house, just a larger version. The pedestrian and 8x8 roll up on the side, so that way I could pull the little Kubota in on the side and have the trucks parked in there and not have to worry about moving anything around. Did the wainscoting. A lot of people do the vertical siding. They think it looks nicer. For me, I feel like the horizontal siding gives it more of a residential type look. We faced the gable towards the driveway. We're gonna rework this with millings and kind of blow this out and, you know, make it look nice. Small thing to notice, this particular company, I could not request a 1 foot or 10-inch extension for soffit on the side. The roof does overhang and you know, it's trimmed out, but I wanted to get a little bit nicer soffit so I could put some gutters to match the house, and that is not an option with this particular builder out of Ocala. But I think it's all right. This is not the long term. This might actually get demoed in the future, because the big shop is planned for back there. Our 40 by 80 is supposed to be back there. This is just a budget version to give us a place to house the trucks and the tractor. Keep them out of the weather. All very standard in here. 12-foot high walls. I'm guessing 15, 16 in the center. Nothing fancy going on. I use their builder standard 8x8 roll up there. Something to note is the latch is actually on the outside, which is kind of inconvenient, but I can drill something in there and give me a way to secure it from the inside. Door's kind of cheapy, but it'll do the job. And then we frame this. It's a little bit dark in here, so I apologize. We do have double channel going the whole way around, but I'm gonna have to come back and frame in something up there for the spring to mount for the garage door, because it's a traditional garage style door that you would have on your house. So we do have the recess for the tracks down here, which worked out well. On the back side, it's okay. We sloped the floor a bit for the door, not realizing that the door would land on the outside of the opening. So we've got a bit of a funky gap there on the sides, but that'll be easy to deal with. And it's not like we're really insulating this, trying to make it climate controlled, so I think that won't be too big of a deal. And this is our biggest drop in terms of grade. We actually started out level with the garage floor, and then we were gonna shoot that to be the same height. With the 12 walls and the pitch of the gable, it actually matches what we have on the front of the house. But we dropped it 4 inches down because this side over here was gonna be a little bit crazy looking with it being level to the garage. So these guys did a pretty good job with the trim and the fasteners being lined up, but they're not color matched, and that, my wife says it's a little bit jarring. It doesn't really bother me too much. A little bit of paint will take an afternoon, some beer, and, you know, go through and do it by hand. And there's not an option with the builder that I chose, so that's something to ask for if you're looking at doing one of these. if they offer an extension so you can do a soffit and fascia off the side, and do they do color match fasteners. So those are things that I could not negotiate into the price. They just don't do it. They do it one way and that's it. But so this is 30 by 30 by 12, very basic. Nothing extra added other than the custom framing on the front door, which more or less for the price, if I would have done their 10 by 10 or two 10 by 10s, it would not have been much more expensive. Maybe a couple $100 more. So it's not like I saved a ton of money by doing a door on my own. And then that door with the opener is probably about $3 grand. So, because that's a 16 by 10, whereas your normal 2-car is a 16 by 8. So, but it'll make it look nicer, I think. Tie it in with the house a little bit because it is quite close. So yeah, this is just a close look. We have a lot to do. Got to do the framing on the door, come back, do final grade, put some grass back, install the door, do some framing, and then you can see the panel over there. I'll make a few videos. We're going to be powering this with solar, ideally. Because we changed the gable to face inward, I lose that awesome angle that I was gonna have facing the solar panels south, which is that way. Would have been able to put some of these solar panels on the back and just had killer sun all day. But I have a pallet of these 355 watt solar panels that I got from Signature Solar on their Black Friday deal. And we have the Anchor F3800 power station, which gives you 30 amp and 50 amp output with one of the extension batteries there. So that should be able to power the shop for the most part. Just really lights, fan, you know, nothing really crazy going on with ground mount and stuff. The money that we would spend to trench electrical over and do all that, I felt it was a better value to buy the solar stuff, because we have a 30 amp receptacle in there on a transfer panel. We have an outside 30 amp receptacle to power the whole house that we use a generator for. We have a 30 amp receptacle on our backup well over there that was, you know, previously a livestock well. So having the portable power just gives us a lot more emergency use case benefit. And you know, a couple grand for that versus a couple grand to trench over power, and then you get a bill on top of it. Even if we're not using the shop for much power, we're still going to get those fees and taxes that come out to about $50 to $70 a month over here in Florida. So I figure we just be better off solar powering it, and we'll see how it goes, you know. Overall, I think for the price and usability, I think it turned out pretty well. I've seen some horror stories on the internet with these buildings just being horrifically low quality. And there are some things to note. You know, luckily Steve and the people that I work with to do the slab, they had the forethought for recessing the door and doing the slope. And, you know, I wanted to add a little extension out, and I wanted it to be smooth, but they actually had it step down so that the siding could overlap the side of the slab just so slightly to keep water out. So that was all Steve's good idea. Really smart guy. He knows his way around, you know, construction site. So when he says something, I consider it seriously. I went through and raked. I spent probably 2 hours raking, getting out the trash and large debris. The second load of fill that was brought into the site to prep for the slab was really dirty, full of big chunks, full of trash. So I bagged and tossed all the trash out here that I could to clean it up before they come in for final grade, because you and I both know they just throw dirt over it, set some grass on top, and call it good. And then we have to deal with it after the fact. So this is all the debris and trash that I pulled up. The actual trash that could go into a bag is in my garbage can. But I spent quite a while cleaning this up so that we're not discovering dirt and fasteners and screws with the tires of our vehicles and tractor after the fact. So that's something to consider too. If you can take the time and do some cleanup, I think it'll benefit you in the long run. So just be willing to do that. Don't expect these contractors to come in and do anything spectacular. They're gonna come in and knock it out as quick as they can. They did it in about, I would say, 10 to 12 working hours, crew of 3. And they were quick to get out of here. I will note that it was Christmas Eve when they finished. It's Christmas Day when I'm recording this. And on my preliminary raking session, I discovered all these fasteners spread around outside the shop. So that was surprising, but not shocking. So yeah, that's the initial look. Got the helpers out here. It's a beautiful day. Merry Christmas, and I'll keep you guys posted.